for me and my team. They want a government that has checks and balances, and they want a government that is accountable. They do not want a mongrel of a government that nobody knows who is in the executive, who is in the opposition, who is doing what. I think the people of Kenya want clarity because we are Democrats. And for the record, in this election, just to answer what you have said, if you look at our TV screens, the celebration is across Kenya because I got 25% in 39 counties out of 47 counties. That tells you that our support base and the people who voted for us are across Kenya. So there will not be any part of Kenya that will be left behind in our administration, because we believe in an inclusive, democratic, progressive government, and that is what we intend to assemble.
Mr. President, have you had any conversation?
Relax, no, relax. I'm here. I'm not.
Yeah. Quick one. You talked about the support that the president has given you in the last 10 years. Has he commented to you about your victory? And number two, what is going to be your immediate assignment now that you've been given that mandate?
I haven't talked to Uhuru Kenyatta, our outgoing president, but I'm sure there will be a conversation, because now I am the president-elect and there has to be a transition. And in that transition, I'm sure there will be a discussion between the current president and myself. Either at the transition committee situation, or I am sure that at some point this evening, maybe tomorrow, we will have a conversation. Again, as a Democrat, maybe I should disclose that this morning I called my competitor, the Honorable Raila Odinga, and I had a discussion with him. And we agreed that whatever the outcome of this election, we should have a conversation. He had offered in his statement, his closing statement in Kasarani, that he would be available for a handshake, you remember? And I said that I'd be available for us to have a cup of tea, because there are areas we can agree on moving the country forward in the context of those of us who will be running the executive. And I'm sure my competitor will take up his role and his team as the opposition, so that we can see how we can move the country forward.
Kashuri,
Let me listen to the lady. The lady first.
Thank you, sir. My name is Leila from India.
Yes, Leila.
At the moment, we see celebrations, but we are also aware that in certain areas there are protests against your declaration of being the president-elect at this particular moment. How do you speak to the entire country in your vision of uniting who have a past of being disenfranchised?
As I have said, my support base and my team's support base is broad. We obtained 25% of the vote in 39 counties. That leaves only 8 counties. And even in those 8 counties, it's just that we didn't make it to 25%. It doesn't mean we didn't get any votes. So we have supporters across Kenya. I also want to state here and now that the administration, President Kenyatta and I, established in 2013, we tried the best we could to serve all parts of the country equally. If you look at all the programs we ran, whether there were programs on rural electrification, whether there were programs on Tibet, whether there were programs on equipment for hospitals, whether there were programs on making sure that we spread infrastructure, we endeavored to reach every part of Kenya. That is our philosophy. As I have said, we believe in an inclusive government, and in any case, the people of Kenya have spoken very loudly in this election, and they have spoken against negative ethnicity. In fact, in this election, the people of Kenya have raised the bar on leadership of Kenya. The people of Kenya have voted for a plan, as we christened it, or a manifesto, or an agenda for that matter. And if you had the discussion in the campaign, it was our issues versus our competitors' issues. And we intend to keep it that way. And for your information, if you looked at my position about 3 years ago, I actually made the declaration to the people of Kenya that this election, we are going to make it not about leaders, but about the people. Not about power sharing, but about empowerment. And not about positions for us as leaders, but about jobs for ordinary people. If you go back my tweet, I think in maybe 2019 or 2020, that was my position. And I am very proud that we have managed to elevate the contest in Kenya to the level of issues. And because we have elevated that conversation, it is my belief, my commitment, and my undertaking to the people of Kenya that we will have an all-inclusive government by way of representation and by way of making sure that we roll out our programs across Kenya.
President, you take over a government at a